All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're talking about one of the biggest challenges in business, period. How do you manage people when it feels like the rule book has been completely thrown out the window? Well, the world of work is kind of chaotic right now, but a really powerful new framework is emerging to make sense of it all. We're going to break down the 5 R's of strategic HR that can take your people function from just a support system to an actual strategic weapon.
Okay, so here's our roadmap for today. First, we need to survey this new HR battlefield. It's intense. Then, we'll pinpoint a core tension that exists between the people themselves and the processes we use to manage them. After that, we'll dive into the 5 R's, which really break down into 3 key areas you see here: finding talent, developing that talent, and finally, restructuring the whole organization for whatever comes next.
So let's set the stage here. The ground beneath every single organization has shifted. I mean, dramatically. The strategies that worked for managing people even 5 years ago, they're becoming obsolete so fast it's scary. And that's creating a way more complex and competitive world for every single business out there.
And, it's not just that business practices are lagging, the research is too. This quote, it really puts it bluntly. It basically says that while businesses are out here fighting 21st century battles, a lot of the core ideas in strategic HR are still stuck in the past. And that disconnect, it's causing some massive problems.
Now, what's really interesting here is how this slide kind of distills all that chaos into 4 key forces. First, the pace of change, right? Think about the gig economy. Stability is just a thing of the past. Then there's globalization, which means you're competing with and hiring from literally every corner of the globe. The war for talent isn't just a catchy phrase anymore. It's a critical, everyday business reality. And all of this is happening while a widening skills gap makes finding the right people harder than ever before. So, in this new battlefield, where do you even begin to focus your energy? Well, before we can get to the 5 R's, we have to understand this central conflict that researchers have identified. It's a tension that exists inside every single company, and getting that balance right, that is the absolute first step toward a winning strategy. And this slide just illustrates that core tension perfectly. Do you focus on the human capital, the actual people, their skills, their knowledge? Or do you focus on the HR practices, the systems, the policies, the machinery you use to manage them? For decades, research got hyper-focused on the practices, often forgetting that these systems are only as good as the people they're supposed to be serving. To win today, you have got to master both.
All right, let's get into the framework itself. Our first 2 R's are resourcing and recruiting. Now, resourcing is all about strategic workforce planning, basically figuring out what skills and roles you're going to need for the future. Recruiting is the execution. It's actually finding and attracting those people in what is a hyper-competitive market. It's about winning the talent war before an employee even walks through the door.
So here's the crucial point. You're not recruiting from the entire population. No way. You're competing in what's called the relevant workforce market. This is your specific talent pool. And understanding its unique dynamics is step 1. Want a simple way to start? Go look at the LinkedIn profiles of the last 5 people you hired. Where did they work before you? Boom. That's the beginning of your competitor map for talent.
And your market, it doesn't exist in a vacuum, right? This table shows these powerful external forces that are constantly shaping it. You've got economic factors like inflation and labor supply that dictate how much you have to pay. At the same time, you have political and legal factors like anti-discrimination laws that define the rules of the game you have to play by. You can't control these, but you absolutely have to account for them in your strategy. Okay, so you found and recruited great people. Fantastic. But the battle is just getting started. Our next 2 R's are retaining and retraining. Retaining is all about creating an environment where your best people actually want to stay. And retraining is about upskilling them to meet future challenges. In a dynamic market, this is often way more critical and more cost-effective than constantly searching for new people.
And what does it take to retain people today? I mean, just look at this number. A staggering 81% of employees are actively looking for workplaces that prioritize their mental well-being. This isn't a nice-to-have perk anymore, not at all. It's a fundamental requirement for retention. It's table stakes.
In response, leading companies are moving towards what's being called the healthy organization. This chart really visualizes that holistic approach. It's not just about one thing, it's about supporting employees across all these different dimensions of their well-being, from their physical and mental health to their financial fitness, and creating a genuinely safe and supportive culture. And a truly healthy organization has to be an inclusive one. Diversity, equity, and inclusion. These initiatives are no longer a side project for HR. They are absolutely central to retaining talent. I mean, the market for DEI is exploding. It's expected to hit over $15 billion by 2026. And tools like employee resource groups, or ERGs, have become essential for building that kind of supportive, inclusive culture where everyone feels like they can actually belong and thrive.
And that brings us to our fifth and final R, restructuring. Now, this is the most profound R of them all, because it acknowledges that sometimes, to keep up with the pace of change, you can't just change the people. You have to change the work itself, the processes, the technologies, and the very structure of your organization.
The core discipline for restructuring is something called change management. It's this systematic process of helping all that talent you've worked so hard to recruit and develop adapt to new realities. And this isn't just about sending top-down memos. It's about redesigning job roles, shifting from rigid old hierarchies to agile teams, or embracing new work models like hybrid systems. In a world of constant disruption, managing this change is how you protect your most valuable asset, your people, while you evolve.
And what's the biggest restructuring force on the horizon? You guessed it, artificial intelligence. This quote from McKinsey really hints at the massive scale of this change. But it's not just about making HR processes faster. Generative AI is fundamentally restructuring jobs. The real strategic work is figuring out which tasks AI can augment, freeing up your talented people to focus on complex problem-solving and innovation. This isn't some future trend, it's happening right now.
So, we'll leave you with this one question to think about. After exploring this new battlefield and the 5 R's framework, take a really hard look at your own organization. Is your approach to managing people a reactive support system stuck in the 20th century? Or is it a proactive, strategic weapon ready to help you win the war for talent today? Because the answer could literally define your future. Thanks for joining us.